What is happening, my friends? We are back for some brand new Band-Maid. So this is from the Acoustic concert that they did on Christmas. I have not watched that, even though I've purchased this ticket. I'm just waiting for the perfect moment, you know? I'm a delayed gratification kind of guy. I just want to wait till I have a moment to just not think about anything else and kind of get myself immersed into it. But this dropped, so we're going to check this out first. And thanks to Kibbs, one of my patrons, he requested that I check out the whole Conqueror album a few months back. I did, and Catharsis is the final song on that album. So before I get into this reaction, I'm going to include my initial reaction to that song, and then we'll be able to compare the two and see, you know, what's a better version and blah, blah, blah.
Maybe not as slow as I was expecting. Oh, holy shit. Yo, Psyche Rap Superstar is like one of my favorite Psyches. So that vocal melody was just like off the chain right there. It just went super hard, super fast. I also love how we've got this guitar riff going on right underneath it. Okay, I don't love Konami's guitar distortion on this one though, but I don't think it matters that much. We'll see. Where are we going? What kind of chorus are we gonna get? I have no idea. I have no idea what we're about to hit into. Like, it could be like a very catchy melodic one, or we could go like BPM different style again. I don't really know. I love when they keep playing those like this. My right ear is very happy right now. Thank you, Konami. You're my savior. I didn't love this chorus, if I'm being totally honest. I almost want to say that like most of the choruses on this one, I'm not sure that they have really found their Band-Maid chorus sound yet by this album. Some of them really sound like it, but some of them sound a little bit like middle-of-the-road choruses for Band-Maid, while at this point I almost expect to just hear like immediate earworms, you know, with like something that's going to stick in my head all the time. But again, this is the first time that I've heard all these songs, so I don't know how I'll feel about them later. And we've got like the lead guitar over here, like playing the same riff that the rhythm guitar is playing over here, which was what was happening in the first verse. They were just doing it on the rhythm guitar, right? Like it was it's an octave, 2 octaves lower, I think. But now we got them both happening. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the fuck? Dude, what? That timing. Okay, I see why Vlad told me to look for time signatures there. That change came out of nowhere. Holy shit. And you know what? Like, for the first, like, couple seconds, it sounds almost, like, totally out of place. And then you get roped into it. A couple seconds later, you're like, oh yeah, this sounds right. This sounds normal. And we're still hearing the lead guitar, like the lead guitar. So this is one of those songs where Konami's just gonna play a lead the whole time, huh? I'm cool with that. Where are we going with this? Whoa, what the fuck? So there are so many interesting things going on right here. I mean, first of all, it's just a repetitive single note that we're on, right? So like, we're not changing the rhythm behind any of this. It's all just you hear the bass underneath also doing something very similar but with less notes, and the bass is actually palm muting also, which is something that you very, very rarely hear a bassist do. And then I think there's a vocal line which was pre-recorded and is going like underneath the actual instrument. And then the solo, it's like, so like during the whole solo, Akane is just doing drum fills the whole time, right? Like she's just playing with the tom. And it's like super jazzy. Like we got like a rock and roll / jazz feeling here. There's no real rhythm behind it. It's just like an experimental. It almost sounds like the type of solo that you would play with really talented people in a garage when you're just like, you know, fucking around. But like obviously really well. Like the rhythm is do 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 do. It's such a unique rhythm for a solo. Usually you want it to be a little more full, but like this is, because it's not, it's becoming my favorite. And then it goes into this. I'm not gonna lie though, I would have liked hearing that part one more time. I think that part that just came in right at the end of the solo, I feel like they were building to something that didn't exactly come to fruition. I mean, it's cool that they went into the chorus with it, but I don't think this is my favorite chorus on the album. I think this might be one of the weaker choruses on the album. So, unfortunately, it feels like they've built something really, really cool here into something that's, I don't know, just mediocre. You know, like the resolution of it's only mediocre in my opinion. It's not like it's a bad chorus. I just don't think it's got that really memorable quality that some of the Band-Maid choruses have. And unfortunately, I feel like the part that preceded it, I think both the verses and the bridge were probably cooler than the chorus itself. So like, it's a little bit of a letdown when it gets there. That's why I would have liked to hear that riff after the solo one more time. Like maybe seen it go somewhere else. Because sometimes Band-Maid does that too, and they add that extra sort of like a catchy part at the end, like in lieu of another chorus, and then they'll do the chorus after that sometimes. Oh, okay, so hold on. I might have talked too soon. Here. That part just sounded so cool, right, Kibbs? Like, it really sounded like they were building to something, like, new, and instead they went into something that wasn't new, so it's a little bit of a letdown. But again, so much of this song has been so unique and so interesting that it's not really something that I'm going to bitch about. I mean, I almost wish they did that like in all of the choruses, right? Like that little thing right there, because like it's just so unique. It's so interesting. It's these little transitions that where you know what they like to do. They like to add transition parts and parts that don't need transitions, right? Like it's not like you needed to do that, but they were like, yeah, let's do something cool for 2 seconds. Konami is just shredding in the back the whole time. I ended up really liking that song. I honestly don't know how they're going to do this, because the verses and the bridge in that original version are so crazy. There's so much going on. Holy crap, by the way, they're not wearing maid costumes. They're literally just wearing, like, clothing. I've been wanting this. It's here. She's got a heart on her guitar. And Misa. Nice. You know, I remember in the original, the first time I listened to it, I was like not a huge fan of the chorus. I felt that they hadn't really gotten their Band-Maid chorus sound yet at that point, but I didn't hate it or anything. I think it sounds 3 times better, 4 times better acoustic version, just because I think the lead up is a little bit more, it lends itself to that sound a little bit more, to that vibe a little bit more. But in this one, I really like how it sounds. It builds up properly. It lands nicely. I gotta say, Misa is pulling a lot of the weight instrumentally on this one, you know? We've completely removed that sort of, like, whatever the guitar riff is that Konami is playing in the original. And we've kind of replaced that with just a more soothing, you know, acoustic sort of strumming pattern, right? You know, Misa really basically playing the lead in this song. You know, my favorite thing about them lately has been the vocals. Hey, they still had that little transition part. That was a harmony. That was a legit harmony, not layering. So what Band-Maid does a lot is the vocal layering, right? Which is they're hitting the same notes. Sometimes Miku's an octave up, I guess. Or maybe she just got a higher, brighter voice. I don't know if they're always on different octaves. Sometimes they are. But that was different. She shifted up and she harmonized with her, which is it's very rare with Band-Maid, honestly, that they do actual harmonies.
And it sounded perfect, did it not? You know, but it's cool seeing them progress like this and just noticing that there's just, to me, there's been a drastic shift in quality with their vocals. I think that they're just so much better today than they were a few years ago.
Beautiful.
I'm shocked they're still doing this part. Wow. They're actually legitimately doing this. Hey! So we added in that little bass transition too. I'm pretty sure they cut that part. It's a lot shorter than it was in the original, but I am surprised that they kept it in at all, and I gotta give them credit for it, because I love that they did that. Most of the time when you get into like a solo or like some sort of like really crazy bridge and you turn a song from electric to acoustic, a lot of the time it just drops, right? You just skip it. Just because it doesn't fit that mold of the song anymore. They did a really good job at kind of translating it into acoustic version. It's not as crazy. The notes were a little bit, they made a little bit more sense. Like, it was a little less experimental sounding, let me say that. Instead of getting rid of it, they turned it into something they could work with, and that's big. Damn. It was sweet. It wasn't overly it wasn't drastically changed to the point where it was unrecognizable from the original, even though the original is very different. Misa did a really good job of sort of playing the lead part of that song, while Konami took a lot of the rhythm. So, Konami and Miku. And, you know, Akane holding herself back as much as possible for 3.5 minutes. She did a good job. Well done, Akane. I know it's difficult for you to hold back sometimes. I don't want to harp on it over and over again, but the vocals have just shot up in quality over the last year or two. I think it's just such a huge difference, you know? And it's like, when we see these vocal coaches reacting to Band-Maid now, too, it's like, we gotta stop sending them over to the old stuff. Even the old stuff isn't bad. It's not bad, right? But, like, there is a difference, and I think we gotta start sending them to the new stuff. Like, y'all gotta check out what they sound like now. Because now, the way that they work together, that sweet spot that they have found, I really think that that's impressive. Even if you're not looking at each individual singer and going, that note that they hit is the craziest note I've ever seen, it's the way that it's written, it's the way that it's performed, it's the way that they work together that really creates this sense of, like, vocal precision that, like, I really love to see in them. So, anyway, yeah, really, I mean, I love them.